Welcome back. It's day 50. We're halfway. Day 50 of 100 days. This is the middle. Today I will be talking about list comprehensions. So if you're interested in learning how to use list comprehensions, this is the video to see. It's day 50 already. 50 days. 50 days. Day 50 to the screen. Hi, and welcome. Welcome to day 50. We're halfway. If you have been following these videos from the beginning, you're amazing. If you're just joining midway or you're just starting, you're equally as amazing. So today I will be talking about list comprehension. List comprehension provides an easy way, an elegant way. Some people would say a confusing way, but it depends on how you say it. So we have a for loop, but we want to make the for loop shorter. We don't want to use the traditional methods of the for loops. We want to make simple, easy, more readable code than the traditional for loops for generating list. So in today's tutorial, I will show you how you can use list comprehensions for different operations and how you can filter data using conditional statements. And why do you need list comprehension? Like I said, it makes it more concise. It allows you to write more compact and readable code, and it's also faster than using regular for loops. So this is the basic syntax. This is how list comprehension looks like. So the expression is the value of the operation you want to apply each item to, while the item represents each element in your iterable, while the iterable is the collection you're iterating over. So before we start, let me show you a traditional for loop and then show you how it looks like if we're using the list comprehension. And you can decide if you're going to stick with traditional for loop or if you would use list comprehension. So first, let's have an empty list. Squares equal to, and a list is usually in square brackets. And then I want to have a range of numbers from 1 to 6. That's I want to start from 1 and I want it to end in 5. Do not forget range doesn't end where you say it ends the number before what you say it should end. So for high in range, and then I have 1,6. So it's starting from 1 and it's ending at 5. And then your colon. And then what do I want to do? I want to if I raise the power 2, so that I want to multiply it by itself. So the square, that's the word I'm looking for. So then my list that I have here, I then want to append into it the squares. So dot append. And what am I appending? 2. So this means that it's going from 1 to 5, and for forgot the that's for each one. So it first takes 1, and then it will square it, multiply it by itself, and then it will then add the value into the list, and it will continue to do that until it gets to 5. So then let's print out our square. SQUARES. And if I run this, we have 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25. Those are the squares of 1 to 5. So this is an example of a traditional for loop. So now, if we want to use list comprehension, let's see this. So I have square, and then based on the expression, we said that our expression is the value of the operation we want to apply to each item. So looking at this, what we want to apply to each item is 1 to the power of 2. So now I would come here and I would have my I to the power of 2. And then going back for item in the iterable. What is our item? It is each element. What is the each element here? It is I. And then what is our iterable? Our iterable is the collection we're iterating over. What are we iterating over? The range of 1 to 6. So then let's come here. So for I in range, 1 to 6. And then I would print square. And then if I run this, we get exactly the same thing. So it's just, look at it, we have 4 lines of code being short reduced to just 2 lines. So it is does exactly the same thing. This is our expression, 1 to the power I to the power of 2, which we add here. And then I, which is the item, each item, which is our I here, and it is our I here. And then we have our iterable, the collection. What are we iterating over? We are iterating over the range of 1 to 6. So let's move ahead. So we've done only for loops. What if we then want to have like if conditions still? So for this, if this is true, do this. We talked about if statement on day 4. So check it out. So first, let me have a list of numbers. So this is our list 1 to 10. And then I want to use my list comprehension with even numbers, with if statements. So what I want to do is out of this list, I want to get my even numbers. And then my even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10. So I would have my list comprehension. So it will go through each numbers and find out if the number is divisible by 2 without remainders. And if it is so, it then prints it out. So this is it. We have our num. Same, we replaced I with num. I told you that when you're using for loop, you can use whatever you want. Most people just usually use I. So num, which is our expression, like we said, and then is our for loop, and this is our item, and this is our iterable. So what we're doing is that for each item in numbers, if each item is divisible by 2, then we want to print it out that is our even numbers. So if I print, yeah, you see we get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So each item, checking if it is divisible by 2. If you divide it by 2, then there's no remainder. Then we want to print it that is a even number. So then what if we want to do nested loops in list comprehension? It is also possible. List comprehension can undo multiple loops similar to nested loop. So if I have 2 lists, I have list 1 and then I have list 2. So what I want to do is I want to create pairs of it. So I want to have a new list that would have multiple tuples in them. So I will have 1 and A, 1 and B, 1 and C, 2 and A, 2 and B, 2 and C, 3 and A, 3 and B, 3 and C. So I want to create pairs. So let's do that. So pairs will then equal to my squared bracket, and then since I'm creating pairs, for what we've been using before, we just use 1 because we're creating num, we're creating I, but I want this deals with 2 elements. So I would have I and J because this is what I want at my result. I want pairs. And then what do I want to do? I want to go iterate through each list, my list 1 and my list 2. So then I will do for I in list 1. And then you see that is my first pair here, 1, 2, 3. And then I also want to go through list 2, and that is my J. So I would have for J in list 2. And then what do I now want to do? I want to print out the pairs. And when I run this, we get our pairs. So I and J, we want 2 elements. We want it to take it from list 1 and take it from list 2. So this is what it does. It checks the first one, takes the I from list 1, and then takes it in list 2, and then also does it over and over and over again until we have created pairs of every possible combination that we can in our list. But I is the starting point. So it always starts with 1, 2, 3, and then J, which is the second one, also stays in the second position. So that's how we create nested loops in list comprehension. Next, I have list comprehension with functions. Yes, you can also do this with functions. And functions, by I mean built-in functions like lowercase, uppercase, and etc. So I want to convert my item from lowercase to uppercase. So this is the names of people, random people, and then let's convert them to uppercase names. So then equals to, and then what would I have? I would have name dot upper. And so I'm converting name dot upper. So name is each item in my list that I'm converting. So that would mean in my for loop, I would have for name, which is each item in the list, and in what? In names. NAMES. And then I'll just print uppercase names. And when I print this out, we have our names in upper cases. So name, which is like for I, but we're using for name in names, and then we're printing out upper by using the upper function. So now, finally, the if else. We talked about if here. So now let's deal with an if else. So same thing we did before. We want to check if a number is even, or if it's not even, then it is odd. So let's still use the numbers that we have here. And then I want to have result. This is equals to, and then my list. So what I wanted to print out even if the number is even, and odd if the number is odd. So yeah, I want it to be even. That's what I want to get. If num 2 equals to 0, else I wanted to print odd. And where do I want it to do this? I want to be able to check through every number in numbers. So this is my if statement. It's just similar to what we add here, but instead of printing each number that was even, we're printing the word even. So if I replace this with num, it's going to print out the number that is non and numbers that are even. But I want it to print out this string. So then if I print result, then we get this. So 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd, 4 is even, 5 is odd, and so on and so forth. So what have we talked about today? We talked about list comprehension. We say it is elegant, we say it is effective, we say it is more concise, but some people might disagree, but I kind of like it. So, and I showed you how it is the traditional for loop, and I also showed you how it will look like if you're using a list comprehension. We also try to use conditions in our list comprehension. We use nested loops. We also use it with a function. You can try it with other functions. It will work as fine. And we also used it with if else statements. So these are 5 questions for you to try out. Try it out. Let me know. Let me know how it goes. And I will see you tomorrow. I have something special tomorrow. You do not want to miss. That is it for this video. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And as always, the link to the Jupyter Notebook is in the description, so check it out and let me know what you think of our video so far. We're going. Thank you. Bye for now.